kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, how do you feel about that? Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
So I don't know.
Okay.
I will say this. So if we look at any movies from the night, how old are you? You're my age. What, 28,
Yeah.
27?
I'm like a year older than you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're like
20. I'm
28.
20.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So movies when we think about coming up when we were coming up in the
I'm
90s
20. I'm
and me and my
29. I'm drunk. I'm sorry. 29. Yeah.
okay, you're still like 2 years older than me, right? Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So if we think about it, they have made it messy, right? So when you think about Love and Basketball, he was the one who messes up, but she's the one who like just takes him back, right? When you think about Love Jones, one of my favorite films, she left, she left to go with her ex dude to figure that out or whatever, to then decide,
Yeah.
oh, I actually love him because he didn't ask her to stay. No, no, no. Here's the thing for me. I believe that a lot of these films have directed us in the wrong direction. That love needs, hear me out, that love needs to be messy.
Yeah.
That love, that you need to sacrifice all this for love. That you need to be bended on one knee and you need to go out of your way and you need to prove to me why you love me. That's what movies have showed us. I don't believe in that. So what I believe, that I believe I can forgive you. I believe that I can move forward, but I think that if you showed me at one point or another that you didn't respect me, that you didn't love me, and love I use as in love to a person, human and human, not as your girl, not as your wife, none as a
Yeah.
human, right? As you being a human, I love a certain way where I can treat you with respect and dignity and all this. If you can't do that for me, miss me. I want you to miss me hard. I want you to know that I was that chick that you couldn't have. So I'm not going back.
Hey, man, look, I totally understand that scenario. Like, I totally understand that scenario. But like, in that case, there are at the same time with that happening, there are at the same like opposite side that the guys are going to work,
You're
like,
right.
you know, doing busting their ass. They are like the most, like, you know what I mean, damn near holy. Like, if they don't go to church, they damn near are Jesus. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Okay,
but
I
it's
get
like
it.
they doing everything they can, and then the wife just is like, I'm bored with this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, she go venturing out. Like, it's like, how do we like, you know, come together and be like, okay, this is the relationship type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel you. I mean, so here's the thing. May Nad 19, she wants to get on.
yeah.
Let me get on with her because she might
Go
have.
ahead, go ahead. Hey man, hey, jump in. Like, yo, y'all do your thing. I want to smoke anyway.
Stay on though. Don't leave because I think we got a question for you. If you
Yeah,
could,
I'll be around.
all right.
All right.
Okay. So let me see if she has a request. Let's see. We're gonna add you on. If you can answer his question, basically of how do we. Sometimes reconciliation isn't the way,
Gosh,
y'all.
girl, you are so smart. Oh, I'm so glad you're on here speaking the word. I'm so proud of you. Oh, it's bringing me to tears. I was just kicking back. I was like, let me see what this girl's about. And oh, you are living my truth. And I'm so happy to see, because I'm a little older than you. I'm like 31. I'm
Okay.
so happy to see a young woman like, because I have so many younger friends who are like 25, 23. I work in a local coffee shop downtown. And they talk to me about a lot of similar things that you guys are talking about, you know, like stand by your man and like be there for him and stuff. And I'm like, a relationship is a partnership. It's not
Yes.
your job to carry his mess. For me, I totally agree with you 100%. Like, I love me for me, and I want the other person to love me for me.
Yeah.
And I want to love the other person for who they are too. So for me, it's all about compatibility. Like I had a really awesome relationship. We're not together anymore, but it just came down to incompatibility. There was nothing wrong with him. He just wasn't showing up for me in the ways that I needed him to. And I
Yeah.
recognized that. And I was like, you know, I let you go with, you know, love and peace and prosper, but I'll never take him back because he showed me who he was.
Right.
And that wasn't what I needed. And that's totally fine. I'm here for that. You know, live your best life. It's not my job to tell you who to be, but you're just not going to be with me.
Yes, I'm with that. And like you even said, right? So the reality is that like you can grow as a person. You
Right.
can come up and be a great person. No one is saying that there's no growth. But the thing
Yeah.
is, because you are great now and you're the man I needed you to be then, doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you're for me now.
That's
Like
great for you. Go
and men and
you.
men and men, it's the same thing for women, right? Like let's be real. For
That's
ladies who are
here.
not ready to be that woman you needed then, just because they've grown up and stepped up doesn't mean that they're the women you need now. So
No,
thank
I
you.
felt
I
like
appreciate it.
like thing about, you know, the woman, like the man goes ham and the woman gets bored. That is her baggage to communicate to him, like within the space of their partnership, so that they can come together and work on that as a couple. If she
Yeah.
chooses to not do that and she chooses to go off and like handle her own business, that's on her. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with a man for working hard and like wanting to kick ass and take names. They're just not compatible. And if she's not
Yeah.
in a space where she's mature enough to communicate that directly with him, it's just not going to work. And there's nothing wrong with either one of them. They're just not right for each other at that
Right.
time. They do some
Like
growth
that.
outside the relationship first.
Yeah.
That's what I did put myself on blast here, but so after my last relationship, I did an intentional year of celibacy because I found myself, thank you, I found myself distracting myself from my own real problems with relationships, like with attention, you know, diving into somebody else so I didn't have to focus on me. And now that I am ready to get back into dating, pandemic.
Girl. Right,
So
girl.
this is the universe maybe saying that like I may think I'm ready, but like maybe I think I'm ready, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, when I have decided to go back into dating like casually though, because I have just consistently seen that the men that I've encountered are not ready to level up into a relationship in the way that I need to.
I feel
They
that.
they, they haven't stepped up and really shown me they're the basic ability to communicate, you know, just like there'd be an issue and I would there'd be an issue and I would check in with somebody like, hey, I haven't heard from you, are you okay? And just nothing, you know. And for me, like that's very immature. And so I would say, you know, well, I'm really hurt that you're choosing to not communicate with me. Like this isn't just going to work. I need somebody who's going to be more direct and straightforward with me, kind of thing. So I've just decided to date casually for a while because I'm just, I don't know. It's not that I need too much, but that I'm just, I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of being disappointed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I get it. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I definitely want to hear from another a man.
Oh, it froze. Oh,
You. I know. I'm sorry. My thing saying it's dying. But what
no,
I want is keep it up. Do the hard work because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to come up in order to even be prepared for someone. So thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you.
of course.
Oh,
And you, girl, you're doing great.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we've had two people come on and join me real quick and tell me a little bit about themselves. I have someone else who wants to say something. I don't know if Francisco, did you again request to be on here? I can't tell. But I want to know, like, I think Francisco made some good points, and I think my friend here as well, the lady, what's her name? May Nad 19. I think they made really good points, right? So the reality is that, like, again, communication is so important, right? That's the biggest thing with me. Like, I need you to communicate because I can't read minds, right? You need to communicate. But I also think that we as people have gotten movies and all that too trapped in our minds where we literally end up replaying all those movies, right? So I got you, Francisco. Just give me a second. Let me say this. So we replayed the Love Jones, right? Even though she did him dirty, he did her dirty, and they played each other. Why does love have to be messy? Like, for real, please answer that. Why does love have to be messy? It doesn't. We make it so complicated. I don't want complicated. I got so many other complicated things in my life. Xavier, you want to be on here? Cool, we could talk. He said, yes, communication and love making versus, okay. But This ain't working. Why is this? Okay, I'm gonna let Xavier on here. But before you talk, Xavier, let me say this though. It ain't gotta be complicated. I'm over this complication of things. Like, love does not need to be complicated. Period.
Oh, nice. Wow. What's up?
Hi. Okay, what you gotta say? Wait. First off, what have you heard thus far? How far have you been in the conversation?
Been in the conversation probably about 5 minutes. So,
All right.
to be honest, what is the question here? Like, what is
So the conversation. So Francisco posed the conversation of like, if two people have grown up, can you go back to each other, basically, right? And I was like, no, like I'm not going back because I already been there, done that. I'm proud of you that you've grown. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad. But why do I need to be the person to deal with that when I needed you to be who I need you to be then, and you weren't that, period? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'll talk to us about the situation I'm kind of currently in a little bit, like kind of got my feet in, where my ex of like we were together for like 3 years, like from like senior year in college till like 2 years after, right? And then I broke up with her based off of like multiple factors of me growing as a person, me like embracing new opportunities of work. I didn't have time. And then she wasn't progressing in her career and her life, right?
Okay.
And she was more trying to be more like my mom instead of my partner.
Problem. Okay.
Yeah, where it was like we started living together, and it's multiple. I could talk about this situation a little bit deeper than this little circular, but we started living together, and she started embracing like doing the laundry, cooking every night, and all of that, embracing that role, where it was like, well, I want it to be split 50-50. Like, why, like, and then she was trying to do all of that, but like at the same time, be mad at me for not cooking and stuff, right? So,
real quick question.
Yeah.
Did you communicate with her that you wanted a 50-50? Or was it one of those things of like, well, I didn't say it, but I would have if she would have asked? Honestly.
Well, honestly, no, I didn't communicate. But it was back. The thing is, we were young. I mean, I didn't have the communication skills back then. I'll be honest.
Which is a real thing. That's a real thing. I respect you for that. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll fast forward where, we spent some years apart and stuff, right? Where now it's like she came back to me. I broke up with her, right? She came back to me, right?
Okay.
And so, she's kind of gone above and beyond to like be a part of my life.
Okay.
Right. So where I'm not fully embracing the trying to get a girlfriend again, but I've seen the like where she's grown as a person, and I've grown as a person to like kind of be able to be more compatible with her as a partner. But I'm trying to, I got tunnel vision to try to get myself to the next level of wealth and of growth.
Okay.
So my personal situation, this is another probably topic, is like, you may be in a pattern of your life where you're trying to grow as a person and like in your career and what you're studying. Like I'm studying for my MBA right now.
Congratulations.
And I thank you. And I'm trying to get promoted in my job. So at the same time, thank you. So it's like, all right, well, do I try to fit in a relationship right now?
Nope.
It's not the time. It's like,
not. But I have a question. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Have you communicated this with her, or is it this something you're thinking of and you're still
communicated with her this? Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Yeah. Did you communicate it as this? Hey, I don't think this is the best way to do this because A, B, C, D. Or did you do this? Hey, I don't think this is the way to do this because A, B, C, D. But I really like you, and I can see something with us, just not right now.
No, well, so that's a good question. So when she started being a part of my life again, I told her what's up. I told her, like, listen, like, I like the time we spend together. We have fun. We go out, we do things, yada yada. It's a great time. But as far as spending a lot of time together, I just don't have the bandwidth to do it because I have the XYZ going on. And she accepted that because she knows, like she knew what she was, and she's like, yeah, that's okay. Like, like I guess maybe she's trying to hook me back in. Maybe that's what it is, but I don't know.
All right, well, X, I appreciate you for coming on. What the advice I would give you, I'm not giving advice out here because I ain't got nobody and I ain't checking for nobody. But the advice I would give you is to communicate. Like, but not just like that communication of like, yo, I don't want this right now, but maybe in the future. That's confusing. As a woman, that is confusing. Don't tell us that. What we want to hear is, yo, this isn't what I want right now. I don't think this is going to work. So then they can then decide, okay, I'm either going to back
most
up or, and no shade to the women who decide, but some women decide, you know what, I'm going to keep pursuing. That's okay. But you need to communicate, sir. You got to let her know what's up. Like, for real. Put it on the table.
I got you. Yeah. Sounds good. Appreciate you having me on.
You.
All right.
I appreciate you. Bye.
All right.
Y'all, this is pretty dope. Come on. Again, I don't have the greatest advice. Like, the biggest advice I could give anybody, and my phone's about to die, so I'm about to charge it. But the biggest advice I can give anybody is to communicate. Communicate your intentions. Yo, I want to be with you, period. Yo, I don't want this from you. Yo, I want you to be my girl. Yo, I just want to be fuck buddies, right? Like, whatever it is, you have to communicate it that. You have to set boundaries. That's the second thing. You have to set boundaries. Because if not, you got people confused. Come on, dude. You know you're just as confused as girls sometimes of like, I don't know what it is. She stays the night like we together, but I don't want to be with her. Like, you have to communicate. Don't let this quarantine confuse y'all. This is the best time to communicate it. This is the best time. Don't get caught up in this quarantine, right? Especially in Arizona. We letting loose. They opening doors. Everybody coming back out. You need to be communicating your feelings and your emotions. Okay? So let's do that. There's one person, I don't know if he's going to get on here, but Dom Root, are you here? My phone's about to die, so let me charge it as we're talking. Dom Root, I really would like you to get on because Francisco did the whole, like, what do you mean, man? Hold on. Let's get into this. Why can't men communicate? Why can't men communicate? What? I don't get that. Okay, we're going to let Peace Savant and then Francisco, we'll let you back on. Dom, I want you on this. I want Dom on here, okay? Peace Savant, you speaking. Let's go. Y'all, my phone is dying, and I'm sitting. I got to hold it now so it could charge. Peace Savant. Oh, I got my bathroom light on because it just be adding a little extra glow. What's up? Oh, that beard is serious.
Yeah, this is my quarantine beard.
I love it.
Appreciate that. Only thing I wanted to chime in because I've been listening, and to answer your question, men can communicate. It's just a matter of like just like a woman, if the person is introverted or not, if they are an expressive person, if that's naturally their demeanor. Also, it takes a level of maturity, like that lady mentioned, when it comes to, I do apologize, your name, ma'am, but there's a level of not only just maturity, but like understanding, and that comes with time. And I just think is trying to force somebody who's not a natural communicator to communicate is going to be very difficult. So that's why compatibility comes in handy. It's May. What's up, May? Appreciate you. So communication is key.
Okay, I hear you, but as humans,
right?
So people may not be able to communicate like you and I, right? Like, I think that we are both at a place in our lives where we can communicate like this. So people may not be comfortable to communicate like this, but nonetheless, in order to survive in life, unless you're literally living in a bubble to yourself,
right?
We communicate. So they may not be, and I can think of countless times where I wasn't the best communicator and I said some really jacked up stuff or whatever. But nonetheless, at some point you have to communicate. At some point you have to talk to another person and let them know what you feel and how you feel it, right?
Right. But let me ask you this question. Do you think
okay,
that's more like, and we've talked a little bit about, just without reiterating everything, about just personalities and having to communicate in the world. You're right. Every facet of your being, you're communicating, whether verbally or non-verbally, you're communicating.
Correct.
So I agree with you on that perspective, but I think like it's just genuinely like just to answer that question of like just taking it deeper, like I really think it's more about compatibility at that point than just communication, because
Okay.
if you vibe with someone and you have that spark and that connection, you're naturally gonna talk about things. You're naturally gonna communicate.
Okay.
Naturally, it's going to be easier, you know, because that person is saying, I'm accepting you as my partner, you're accepting me. Things of that nature. Like, so like you really have that kind of like spark. Versus if you like you've been on, like, let me ask you a question. You ever been on a date where you know like you're not gonna talk to this person because the spark is not there? The community, like that aspect, whatever it is just not there. And then you're like, okay, this was cool for the night, but I probably won't see this person again. It's a compatibility.
I think I hear you. I hear you, and I see what you're saying. And I think we can take that into consideration. I
Okay.
definitely we can take that into I think you're correct. Compatibility is important. I still think communication is key.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I think but okay. So I challenge this though.
Okay.
Why do we as people, not just men or women, because I know I've done it before, people in general, why do we all, not always, excuse me, let me not overgeneralize. As people, why do we tend to, knowing that we're not compatible with someone, but we just like what we see, so we want to indulge our desires, right, of sex and or of high prestige if this woman or a man is like extra like successful. Why do we do that? If we know we're not compatible, why do we even engage?
Because I think the optics are more alluring than the substance. So like if someone
Wait,
is,
say that again. Say that one more time.
so like I think
Optics.
are more alluring than the substance.
Okay.
So basically, in other words, if you're seeing like let's say a beautiful man, beautiful woman, let's say someone is very successful and have influence and power, okay, that those are attractive things, right? Those are
Yeah.
attractive qualities. So you're gonna get swept away into the optics versus actually getting to know the person as an actual person and a being. Like I have a friend, for example, right? Um, he like dates women of different body sizes, and he's dated women, small women, big women, things of that nature. Okay, and for him, he looks at it like beauty is gonna fade, or like looks and fade, like that's gonna fade,
Yes.
but the personality and that substance is what's gonna be key. And even taking it one step further, let's say, like, let's use the Mike Tyson example. Mike Tyson once said he'd met a lot of great people in his life, like people who were amazing in their fields, but he said a lot of the great people weren't like good people as far as personality wise or into their day-to-day existence. So I just think you got to get beyond just the optics and what you see. Like we've all been susceptible, like, damn, she fine, like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
or like, oh, he good looking or whatever. Or if you're in the LGBTQ community, all like, you know, whatever your attraction is, and who you love, like you're going to be naturally attracted to that. I mean, people like, and also people like, they kind of like tend to be with people in similar fields. Like you'll see like gym rats date gym rats. You'll see teachers date teachers. You'll see actors date actors, musicians date
Right.
musicians. So I think it's communication to you, what you're saying, because that's the first step. But we just got to get beyond the optics.
High five to that.
High five.
I think what you said is valid, and I think that's important. That we need to get past this. We need to get past it. But even in that too, not just the looks, but get past the, like you said, the optics, right? So the success and yeah, I vibe with that. Thank you.
You're very
Wait,
welcome.
Answer this question. Do you see the question from Francisco?
Yeah, I see Francisco. What do you say? Do you think that you could go back to a relationship that didn't work in the past when you two were young? Huh, that's a really good question.
Wait. Before you answer that.
Mm-hmm.
Francisco, this really hits home for you because you keep like he wants. I don't know if he wants someone to make the decision for him. I don't know what he's dealing with, but this keeps coming back. He's big serious about this one. So let homeboy know what he should do, please.
So I'll say this, like,
not to put it out there like
if
that.
if you two have like grown, like literally grown as people, and you two come to a consensus that you would actually like to actually go and be on a date or reconnect, right? Go for it.
Okay.
Like, nobody should judge you. Nobody should stop.